Alex, you'll know the importance of this week. Everybody is looking at the two matches and thinking that they're 6 points must wins. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think they're vitally important games. It's not going to dictate the rest of the season, but I think it will have a big bearing on, obviously, the immediate in terms of what the table will look like. It'll have a big bearing on, I think, what the rest of the season arguably looks like for us. And I think it gives us an opportunity to go and put some distance and gap between ourselves and some of the bottom teams. So, yeah, we understand the importance. But football at this level, at this stage of the season, is like a snowball, and it gets bigger and bigger each game. So obviously, depending on what the result will look like this sort of Wednesday, Saturday arguably becomes even bigger, and then from that point onwards, depending on where we find ourselves, will determine how big the games are.
When you look back at the game against Hull at the weekend, Stoke didn't create a great deal, neither did Hull. You got a clean sheet and a point, which is all you can hope for if you don't score. But is there anything come out of that will make you think about changes for Wednesday?
In terms of shape of personnel, you mean? Yeah, I think we're always sort of... Each time we set up for a team at the moment, we're setting up to try and win that game. Do you know what I mean? So we've set up differently for quite a lot of period of time. Do you know what I mean? If you look at the Hull game, I think that's the first time we've played against a back four where we've stayed a back three. Do you know what I mean? Majority of times we go back four against a back four. So like, just in terms of the way we've done it, so that was slightly different. I think this game, yeah, I think we certainly take into account that do we change shape, do we change personnel, or somebody else that can offer something different. So yeah, we've analysed Huddersfield. We know, or we think we know what they're going to do. You know, I think what makes it an unpredictable game is the fact that obviously Neil Warnock's going to start the next day, so the lad that's taking the team really could set up any way he pleases. So as far as we're concerned, that makes it unpredictable.
You've talked about Neil Warnock coming in, and although he's not supposed to take over till the next day, I don't know whether he'll go into the changing room, dressing room, or what input he'll have. Neither do you. But you've played against, you've managed against his teams in the past. What will he bring to the club that might impact on Wednesday's game?
I don't think anything will impact on Wednesday's game. I think just probably the thought that the lads know he's coming in, so they want to impress. I understand, I don't think he's in the country at the moment, so I don't think he'll be having any bearing on the changing room before the game. But to be honest, as far as we're concerned, it doesn't make any difference. I mean, it doesn't matter who's in charge. We've got to try and make sure that we do what we need to do to try and win the game.
When you look back at the game at the weekend, again, excuse me, the crosses weren't the greatest, the outball wasn't always fantastic, but when you look at the team you're playing tomorrow, they haven't won this year, I don't think. So they'll be really low on confidence. Can you use that to your advantage?
Well, if you play well, yeah. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I think that any of the teams at the bottom end of the division obviously haven't done particularly well this season, but every team at the bottom end of the division will be looking for a catalyst to then kick their season on and kickstart what they would hope to be a good run. And there will be teams between now and the end of the season, wherever they're in the division, that might not be in great form just now, will find a bit of form. It happens pretty much every year. So there will be a team. We want to make sure that we're one of those teams. And I think that if you look at the game Saturday, and I've watched it back, I thought we had ample opportunities to make good decisions with the ball, and I think we turned the ball over too much at times. That was the only time they looked as if they were likely to score, where we gave the ball away cheaply in the middle of the pitch and they counter. But I thought that where we wanted to utilise the spare players and find ourselves, I thought certainly for the first 20 minutes you could see it was really apparent where we needed to get the ball to, and then when we did get the ball there, either a selection of pass or a choice of run or a quality of pass just let us down a little bit. So we're hoping that we can obviously carry those actions out better in this game.
You can't do a great deal once they cross that white line, and you can only get into them at half time or after the match. How important is it, we've talked about starting well before, but how important is it that Stoke start on the front foot like they did against Reading, so that they get the whole crowd behind them and they can push forward and win the game?
Yeah, but we started well the other day as well, Ange. I mean, so I don't think Reading's the only game we've started well. There's been a number of games. Our biggest difficulty is not starting well. Our biggest difficulty is making sure when we start well, we make it count. I mean, that's probably where I think that there's no point, when you have good spells in the game, you need to make them matter. you need to make sure you punish the opposition, you need to make sure you get that first goal, and if we can do that, then obviously it gives us a platform to go and try and win the game. So I don't necessarily think starting well is the issue. I think it's making sure that it counts, and obviously we'll set out to do that. If we get opportunities, we need to be clinical, and we need to make sure when we're in good areas that we make good decisions with the ball. So, and I think we've done that sporadically. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's just trying to get an element of consistency in that sense.
You're limited by the personnel you've got at the moment to produce the quality that you need. How frustrating is that for you, or do you just have to put that to one side and get on with it?
Yeah, but I think that the lads have shown moments of quality. You know, you think of Josh Laurent's goal against Stevenage where he puts it in the top corner, Tyrese Campbell's goal away at Preston where he sort of runs the length of the pitch and puts it on his left foot. There's great moments in there. I mean, some of the Will Smallbone's goals. There's loads of good moments in there. The problem we've got is we need consistency to make sure that that happens on a regular occurrence and it doesn't just happen now and again. Because if it happens now and again, you don't win enough games, you don't pick enough points up. So we're shown we're capable. What we need to be is we need to be capable regularly, you know, and that's obviously a bit different. So in terms of being frustrated, I'm just frustrated we haven't got more points on the board. And I think the reason we haven't got more points on the board is when we do have potentially moments in the game that we can make count in our favour, we haven't made them count enough. And then if you look back, less so recently, which has been really good, is we've made crucial errors at the back, and that was costing us goals that ultimately cost us points. So when you add them up across the season, we're certainly points lighter than where I think we should be. Because if you look statistically for us as a team, we're pretty much middle of the road in terms of where we should probably be in the league. But the crucial moments in that box are arguably why we've got less points on the board than we should have.
Nick Powell came on as a sub. The subs actually gave you a little bit more, I thought, in the game. But Nick Powell came on and looked like he got an injury early doors. So is he okay for tomorrow?
No.
Okay. Ben Pearson, is he ready for tomorrow?
Yeah, Ben's been training this week, so Ben will be in the squad for tomorrow. As will Axel. He'll be in the squad tomorrow.
And Hoover, he looked like he was struggling a bit at the end. Is he okay, Cian?
Will be a late decision on Cian.
Okay, and could you give us any updates on Josh Timon and Taylor?
Connor Taylor will train this week, so yeah, he'll train this week, and then we'll see how he goes for there. So he's been on the grass with the physios and stuff, but he's not came with us yet. And Josh Timon, I think, will probably start training next week, so he's made a lot better progress than we anticipated. So yeah, we'll see where he goes.
And the last one from me is, in battles like this, or fans perceive their battles, they will be looking for players to show their character. You see these players every day in training. Do you feel there's enough characters in the team that can push Stoke forward at this moment?
Yeah, of course. I think there's been crucial games this season that the lads have delivered, and they've won the games that we've needed to win. I think that we've obviously wanted to do that more. But yeah, listen, I don't think that the endeavour and the sort of character and what we've put into the games is in question. You can't tell me that the lads didn't try. I thought against Hull they put everything on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? We just probably haven't made it count as much as we would like to. But I don't certainly think that they want for effort or they want for understanding what we're trying to do or anything like that. I think they're trying their very best.